This is a huge developer update. I'm going to do my absolute best to get through it quickly and jump into the perk reworks, but in order to understand why there are even perk reworks in the first place, you have to understand the other changes that are happening to the game. So let's dive into that. Firstly, the new progression system is coming. I have a video releasing on Friday that will talk about this, so I'm not going to go into detail here. There are new matchmaking incentives which will give you a blood point bonus from plus 25% to 100% based on which role currently needs more players. These will be visible on the menu and also double as an indicator of which role currently has the fastest queue times. There are some killer gameplay improvements. Generators now take 90 seconds to complete rather than 80 seconds. Kicking a generator will now instantly remove 2.5% of its max progress. Breaking walls and pallets is now 10% faster. Generators can also be kicked 10% faster than before. The cooldown for successful basic attacks has been reduced by 10%. The duration of the survivor's speed boost on hit has been reduced by 10%. And Bloodlust now increases in power at 15, 25, and 35 seconds rather than 15, 30, and 45 seconds. There are some survivor buffs too that are designed to combat camping and tunneling. Survivors now receive a 5-second endurance effect after being unhooked, basically BT built in, and you gain a 7% haste effect for those 5 seconds as well. This is cancelled if the survivor performs a conspicuous action, which is defined as repairing a generator, healing yourself or others, cleansing or blessing a totem, saboing a hook, unhooking others, or opening the exit gate. Okay, now those are hugely meaty changes, but here's the real meat of the update. That was like the vegan meat. That was the Beyond Burger meat. The perk changes are the big thing that I think everyone is looking forward to hearing about, and there are a lot of them. So pause the video, grab yourself a drink, and let's go. Barbecue and chili no longer has a blood point bonus. There are no other changes to it, it's just that that part of it is being removed. Their reasoning is that this update reduces the grind by about 75%. More on that in the video on Friday, so they think this is a good step. Hex Ruin now regresses generators at 100% rather than 200%. It will also now automatically deactivate when a survivor is killed. Pop now removes 20% of a generator's current progress rather than 25% of its total progress. Corrupt Intervention now deactivates once a survivor enters the dying state. Tinkerer can now only activate once per generator. Noed will now display the aura of its associated hex totem when within 4 meters after activation. After 30 seconds, this range increases to 24 meters, making it significantly easier to find and cleanse. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance no longer gives a loud noise notification at the generator with the most progress when a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook. Survivors working on the generator will also no longer scream. Dead Hard now provides endurance for 1 second when activated rather than invulnerability and a speed boost. Decisive Strike now deactivates once the exit gates are powered, and the stun duration has been reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. BT, as it's now built in, now increases the duration of endurance and the movement speed boost to 10 seconds for any survivor you unhook. Iron Will no longer silences grunts of pain, but instead reduces them by 75%, and it is no longer active when exhausted. Self-Care now heals at 35% speed rather than 50%, and its item efficiency bonus has been removed. Spine Chill will now only activate if the killer has a clear line of sight to the survivor, meaning that you no longer have to look away as a killer when approaching a generator through a wall. The effect now lingers for 0.5 seconds to make the action speed boost more consistent and not flicker, and its Vault bonus has been removed. It will still increase your repair, heal, salvo, unhook, cleanse, open, and unlocking speeds by 6%. Okay, those are all the meta perk nerfs. Here are some fun buffs to non-meta perks. Overcharge now causes a kick generator's regression speed to grow from 100% to 400% over the course of 30 seconds. Eruption's generator regression penalty is now 10% rather than 6%, and the duration of the incapacitated effect is now 25 seconds rather than 16 seconds. Knockout will now cause dying survivors to crawl 50% slower for 15 seconds and reduce their recovery speed by 25%. Coulrophobia now increases the speed of skill checks by 50%. It doesn't say this is specific only to healing skill checks, by the way, so this likely affects other actions too. Dark Devotion now activates whenever the obsession loses a health state rather than only being from a basic attack. Jolt no longer has a cooldown. Lethal Pursuer now extends the duration of all aura reading effects by 2 seconds, giving it some usage beyond the first 9 seconds of the game. Scourge Hook Gift of Pain now has an action speed penalty of 16% rather than 9%. Thanatophobia now has an increased action speed penalty of 5.5% per survivor for a maximum of 22% rather than 20%. Monstrous Shrine is now a Scourge Hook perk. It converts all basement hooks into Scourge Hooks, and now all Scourge Hooks grant 20% increased entity progression when the killer is not within a 24-meter radius. Calm Spirit now also allows you to open chests and cleanse and bless totems completely silently, but at a 30% reduced speed. Saboteur can now identify Scourge Hooks. Their aura will be shown in yellow when a survivor is being carried. Botany knowledge now increases healing speed efficiency by 50% rather than 33%. Off the record now grants endurance for 80 seconds when being unhooked, but is cancelled when performing a conspicuous action. Lucky Break can now be recharged. For every second spent healing a survivor, Lucky Break restores 1 second of its duration. Pharmacy will now activate whenever you're injured and can be used to obtain multiple emergency medkits in a single trial. Self-Survivor will now also increase your generator repair speed by 75% and hatch action speeds by 50% when you're the last survivor standing. Distortion will now gain 1 token for every 30 seconds you spend in the killer's terror radius. Lightweight now also causes your scratch marks to be left less often, and they also fade 5 seconds sooner rather than 3 seconds sooner. Deja Vu now also grants a 5% repair speed bonus to the generators it reveals, that is, the 3 closest at the start of the trial, and each time a generator is completed. No One Left Behind now also grants a 7% movement speed bonus to any survivor you unhook, and now activates when the gates are powered rather than opened. Dark Sense has now been reworked. It will now activate when the generator is powered. The next time the killer comes within 24 meters of you, their aura is revealed for 10 seconds, and then the perk deactivates. Tenacity now also reduces your grunts of pain by 75% when in the dying state. Hope now has an infinite duration. Overzealous now also grants an additional 8% repair speed bonus after cleansing a hex totem, so 16% when activated in that way. And finally, We're Gonna Live Forever no longer has a blood point bonus for the same reasons as barbecue and chili. This update is phenomenal. It's huge. It's the quality of life update that we've been asking for years. They've addressed so many problems that the game has, hot off the heels of a surprisingly well put together and well designed chapter. This is the new Behavior Interactive, carrying Dead by Daylight from a dwindling player base back up to a peak of almost 100,000 players on Steam, which is great news. This is a great update, and I am looking forward to the PTB, which releases next week. As always, a big thank you to my patrons, Joelbrook182, Kurt Gardner, Sylvan, Think Sometimes, AVR Razor, Coke Head, Channel Manager, Chipstar878, and Godfather Dumbledore. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.